She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy Gaspacho.
Important to take a lame gorilla, okay?
Advice, did you know that Arsenal died?
He's got me buzzing.
Up the talkies. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm not even going to comment on that. But quite honestly, maybe Garnacho should be taking the headlines, but he is in fact not, because it was that debacle, like we mentioned at the start of this Copa America segment, where, people were trying to get into the stadium. They were pushing, going crazy. They had to lock the stadium doors because people had jumped in and snuck in without tickets. They tried to get them out. People started getting pushed into these gates because people were crowding, pushing to try and get in as we got closer and closer to kickoff time. People were being, suffocated. It was extremely hot. People were having medical conditions like in the heat, dehydration. There were children in there. So they decided to open up the doors. And that does allow everybody to go in without any type of security check, without any type of ticket check into the stadium. They get an entirely full stadium where there are people covering every single row, every single seat, not enough space for people to be even sitting in the stadium, and a majority of them not with tickets. These tickets, once again, the lowest ticket was about $1,700 to $2,000. So obviously that's not going to go over well with fans. Was a very scary scene. People were going in through vents. People were going in over the gates. People were going in just about any way you could possibly imagine. It was a absolute mess. I did some digging into this, boys. Paul Tenorio did an interview. He reached out to CONMEBOL and CONCACAF members to get a kind of a idea of what happened here, what went wrong. Most of this blame, if not all of it, does go down to CONMEBOL. They did take full control of the security, all of the facilities of this. They did not take into effect what FIFA has already laid out for the standards for the FIFA World Cup. So if you are worried about the FIFA World Cup being held in the U.S., there are completely different standards because FIFA are the organizers of that. CONMEBOL decided not to take any of that into account. I guess in the Mercedes-Benz arena in Atlanta, there were similar situations where security was going a bit crazy, obviously not as crazy as this in their first Copa America game there. Then USSF came in, said, hey, listen, let us take some control of this. Second game went significantly better for them there. This one, the final, they did not, once again, listen to any type of support from outside considerations. Once again, that would take away from their hosting abilities. And it went to shit here. It was absolutely shit. A lot of blame to be placed on this one. Security did not do a good job. People jumping into the stadium are at blame. CONMEBOL is at blame. And really everybody at that stadium is to blame because I don't think anything was handled well. I don't understand how you go through with a game here. But from Paul Tenorio speaking with CONCACAF official, they had zero control of this. CONCACAF is not at all.
Everyone's to blame except USA.
No, I'm saying, Nick, this is from the actual representatives. CONCACAF had zero control because this is obviously not their federation, and it's just teams from their federation in it. U.S. Soccer was not the people in charge of any of the security details on this. They offered to help because they did the Copa America in 2016, the Centenario. That one a much different situation because they were the ones funding it, so they got 80% of the revenue. They got 80% of the control of it. Therefore, they could do all of their own things. This time, CONMEBOL was fully in charge like a normal tournament. Did not go over well. The CONMEBOL officials said that they were fine with the security they had, that they didn't see it as an issue in Atlanta. They didn't think it would be an issue here in Hard Rock. Obviously, it was. Even Colombia's, I believe, president of football got arrested. He has 3 felony accounts for assaulting officers and officials. So there's a whole lot of shit show to go around on this shit show. Nick, what happens here? You have all these fans in there, people with $2,000 tickets not allowed in. Why did this game go through? Why was there not different accommodations made here?
I mean, yeah, money. What? That's why the game went through. The
Not
broadcasting rights.
postpone, I mean.
The broadcasting rights alone, like the scheduling, everything would have been a huge loss of money. They would have had to pay out is why they did it. I mean, that's just how big organizations work. They don't care about the little guy. And in this case, the little guy spent, if he has a family of 4, about $8,000 at least, and got left out of the stadium and drove home and listened to the game on the radio. And will not get, because let's be real, the prices to get in, like $2,000, that's not what like the Miami or Cannonball or whoever sold it for initially. People bought those and then people resold them. They upsold them for crazy amounts of money. So they're not going to get refunded that full amount. Let's be clear there. Also, that's not even saying anything about the amount of people who flew in to watch this. Like, no airline's going to refund them. Like, that's not going to happen. There's like the payouts that are going to happen from this, people are going to move on because it was successful and because thank God no one got like died. I thought for sure there'd be riots. I put in the group chat like someone's gonna die either during or after the game or during the debacle of the entrance.
I mean, no checks for weapons is asking for trouble.
Is insane. I'm
in America.
I don't know if I would have
There's
left.
a lawsuit brewing for sure, bro.
Oh, definitely. There's a lawsuit coming.
There's a lot of them.
Don't think about refunds from Ticketmaster or planes or anything like that.
Yeah.
There is a class action lawsuit. There is a Hard Rock Stadium lawsuit towards Cannonball. There are going to be plenty of lawsuits. It is going to be a lot of action here.
Again, just one more time. I'm not as quick to just rush blame to Cannonball right away.
It's not rushing though. That they are in charge. They've confirmed that they were in charge of the security. What do
you think is being reported in other countries, like in South America right now, that Cannonball is to blame?
But this is what are in the tournament rules. Is that that is what they are responsible for.
Confirm that.
This is confirmed by multiple reporters that it is on them.
I am gonna be not as quick. I think everyone's. I think
Hard Rock.
Maybe not so much.
Made the stadium for infrastructure issues, for having vents where people can crawl up into the vents and get into the stadium. I'm like, there's a lot of people to blame if we actually stand back and think about it. And yeah, you can even blame. Why are people fucking trampling other people? Let's just take a huge step back. Cannonball is not telling all these people to come in here and trample others. I mean, yeah, it's a stupid argument, right? You can't blame an individual person, but you can blame this. This is fucking ridiculous. Have some sense of humanity. Don't trample other people. Don't push people into the barricade. You see children and fucking women screaming because we have men pushing from behind. It's just unacceptable. And the matter of fact of who the blame is on does not really matter at this moment.
And it's everyone. It's everyone. There's no one who is blameless in this. That's all I'm trying to say. Maybe more of it's on Cannonball, but no one is blameless. I don't care if they gave up control to Cannonball. I don't give a shit. Everyone has to blame. And it was a horror show. 2-hour delay. Which again, I think I for sure was you gotta cancel this game. You gotta postpone it. Like this can't go through. And the worst part that we've talked about, but like. It's very arbitrary on how they just let people in. Like, forget the no checks or whatever. They just let people in until I think it looked full on TV, and then they just closed the gates. Like, it wasn't. Yeah. It worked to the advantage.
The gates opened for just a second, and they closed it the second the crowd got through. But there were so many things. They broke through doors that had locks on them. They were jumping through vents. They were jumping over fences. That was the thing is once somebody starts jumping over things, that's where when security is chasing people down on ramps and everybody decides that
it's over. It's
a mutiny. It is gone to shit.
Also, like, what is security doing just tackling like one guy? Like there's so
you gotta get a better plan. To do?
Dude, you gotta get a better plan than just beating the shit out of one guy that you see. Like, come on, what are we doing?
This dude got his ass kicked.
That can't be the game plan. So
that dude took an ass kicking for everyone else.
I don't know. It's just it was an enormous failure and a horrific look for. I don't care if all the blame's on Connor. It's a horrific look for the World Cup in 2 years. Horrible look.
Yeah, the PR is a lot against the U.S. here, and obviously with other events happening in the world, The U.S. is not getting a lot of safety measure publicity. Well, boys, let's get off of that stuff. That is awfully negative. People have their own thoughts. I'm sure you guys in the comments can sound off on what you think about all of it.